Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today's topic of the day is going to be around the new rules and changes on the OCI card that was recently delivered this year. And with a lot of research, I wanted to present you this topic. And without further ado, let's go and check it out. All right, let's jump in and check out the new rules for OCI. So I've actually prepared a small presentation and let's check it out. And if there are more resources that needs to be added, I will add it to my description section below, or you can even check out some of the comment sections, and I do add a lot of information on the comment sections as well. So let's quickly dive in. Let's go to the basics first. What is OCI? Right? Overseas citizenship of India is a form of permanent residency available to people of Indian origin and their spouses, which allows them to live and work in India indefinitely. Despite that, OCI does not grant citizenship, meaning you cannot vote in India in any elections or hold public office. And again, Indian government can revoke OCI status due to a variety of circumstances. As of 2020, this is the numbers. There are 6 million OCI holders among the Indian diaspora, which is amazing. The OCI scheme was actually introduced in the Citizenship Amendment Act in 2005, and it in response for demands of a dual citizenship by the Indian diaspora. And this basically provides something similar, not technically a dual citizenship, but it gives you a lot of things that you can do. So it's very beneficial. And also to be noted, OCI status does not become available who has ever been a Pakistani, a Bangladeshi citizen, or who is a grandchild, child, or great-grandchild of such a person. So these are some basics of what OCI is. And let's look into the new rules. So there are basically 3 broad changes that came through in 2021. And I'm going to go into each detail. So change number 1 was before January 2015, travelers holding the OCI were required to carry their old Indian passport with the U visa stamp on it while traveling to India. This requirement has been done away. So this is a very welcome change, guys. So this old visa passport with that stamp does not need to be carried. The OCI card, which is the blue booklet that you see on the left corner of this slide, in conjunction with your valid foreign passport, is sufficient for you to travel to and from India. In short, I've summarized the benefits for this. No longer needed to carry old Indian passports. And second thing is streamlined and reduction of documents. So this is a very good news for all of the Indian diaspora who have OCI card and wish to travel to India. The second change that came in, which was this year, was there are certain rights of the OCI card holders curtailed, because there was a lot of different, there was something called as the PIO card before, which is called person of Indian origin, and then there was OCI, and then there were too many overlaps across these two. So what the government of India did was they merged it very recently, and now all the PIOs are getting converted to OCIs. So within that, they kind of kept certain requirements and curtailed certain permits for certain types of activities to come on an OCI and do things in India. I will go over them in the next slide. So these are mainly created to curtail certain rights for national security. And again, if you need to do certain activities, which I'll share in the next slide, you need to get your documents from the FRRO, which is the Foreigners Regional Registration Officer. So what are these activities, or what are these rights that were curtailed? Let's go into them. So OCI must procure special permission or permit to undertake some of these following activities, such as mountaineering. If you wish to go for some activities and you're an OCI card holder, you might as well need to get these documents done. Research or journalistic activities, missionary or tabligh activities, any internship or employment with offices of any India-based foreign diplomatic missions and foreign government organizations. Visit any place in India notified by the central government or any competent authority as protected or restricted or a prohibited place or area. The special permission needs to be granted, as I mentioned, by specified relevant authority or the FRRO or the concerned Indian mission that I had mentioned in the previous slide. So I hope that helps and clears all the doubts for the second change. The third change actually is an amazing change, which I feel you can have my full weight behind this one. What this did was reduce renewal of OCI every time you have a change. So let me read through that and then I'll explain what they kind of did. On April 15th, the number of times OCI needs to be renewed got reduced down to only once. Let me explain how. When the passport is renewed for the first time after the age of 20. However, every time the passport is renewed before age 20 and when the passport is renewed for the first time after the age 50, a copy of current passport along with the current passport size photo needs to be uploaded onto the OCI portal. These relaxed OCI renewal guidelines reduce the administrative burden caused by multiple OCI renewals. It is mandatory for an OCI card holder to notify the FRRO by email if there are any changes to permanent address and or occupation. So let me break this down for you. So what they did was, now if there are three buckets, so you are 0 to 20 years of age, then there is 20 to 50 years of age, and then there is 50 and above. So if you applied for an OCI in between any of these buckets, you don't need to apply for OCI renewal every time you change your passport. I mean, passport changes are usually once in 10 years. All you need to do is go on to the OCI miscellaneous online portal, which I will put a new video on this. I have been doing a lot of research, and there will be a video coming on specifically just updating OCI information on the online portal. And you just provide your new details. You basically connect that details with your old OCI number and all the other details that they ask, and you upload your current passport copy, and that's it. You will get an email. Once you get notification, all you need to do is print out that notification, and when you travel to India, you need to take that. So what this did was the burden on the Indian mission or the embassies has significantly reduced, because every time you have a change or you switch a job or you move from one place to another, you don't need to keep updating your OCI card. All you need to do is inform them through their online portal, upload all the documents, and that's it, and you are good to go. So what this does in terms of benefits is reduction in the number of times you apply for OCI or renew OCI. And then again, streamlining and reduction of documents. I mean, this is like amazing. I would have shown you in my previous video on OCI where the stamp on the OCI was saying lifelong. So kind of this is why it was saying lifelong. And so I just need to apply for one OCI renewal when I reach age 50. That basically reduced like multiple times of renewal. So this is actually a super welcome change for the Indian diaspora across the world, and I hope you guys get the benefit of it and take notice of it. And then quickly, I wanted to summarize a couple of more benefits that the OCI card actually offers. OCI card actually are on par with NRIs or non-resident Indians when it comes to sitting in all India entrance exams such as JEE, which is the Joint Entrance Exam, and the NEET for medical courses. So this makes an OCI card holder eligible for admissions to any NRI or supernumerary seat that is over and above the sanctioned intake approved by the appropriate authority. So this is actually, again, really good benefit that OCIs have. OCIs, although cannot apply for seats that are exclusively for Indian citizens, we will be put into the bucket of the NRI. OCIs are permitted to buy immovable property in India, but cannot purchase agricultural land or farmhouse or plantation property. This I think I covered in my original OCI video. as well briefly, but I wanted to go specifically on exactly all the rules. And also, OCI cardholders can apply for inter-country adoption of an India-born child or children, subject to compliance with the adoption procedure laid down by the competent authority. And then the last thing was the notification was restored to lifelong visas to OCI, which was temporarily suspended after the pandemic. So when I received my OCI, that's when you might have seen, oh, it has a lifelong stamp in it, which was kind of telling the story what I'm reading out to you now. These are most benefits of OCI. And since we talked about NRI, just to clear what NRI are, who NRI are, or like, if there's any questions. So I just quickly put up a couple of information on that. In common parlance, the Indians living overseas are known as NRI. This is more of a tax classification than a visa status. The term NRI is not defined under the income tax law, but what it mentions is if you live outside of India for a minimum of 182 days in a financial year, you are classified as an NRI. So you can read through these details in depth, but this is basically the definition of NRI. So when I first moved to America, after 6 months of continuous presence outside of India, I initially became an NRI, and now I'm an OCI. So that's the difference. And NRIs, of course, still hold Indian passport, and in OCI, you hold a different passport, but you have the OCI card. So these are the differences, and the only other difference, the major difference is NRIs are still eligible to vote in India, OCIs are not, which I covered in my previous couple of slides. And then again, therefore, any income that the NRIs earned outside India are not taxable in India. So there are like different jurisdictions on taxes as well. So read through it if you need more details. And then couple of privileges, right? Why would you get an OCI card? Like what's the big deal around this, and why are people opting for this versus a visa, etc.? These are the reasons, right? Apart from all the things, the benefits that I covered, some privileges, right? Multiple entry, multiple purpose visa, long-term, which is visa-free visit to India. So every time you go in and out of India, especially if you still have family, this is an amazing thing. You don't have to keep reapplying. You just do it once, and you follow the rules, and you're good to go. The other thing is, unless you are doing those activities that I covered, exemption from registering on the FRRO office for every arrival and length of stay. So you can actually just go in and out of India with these things very easily compared to how it was before. Number 3 is actually brings you parity in financial, economic, and educational fields, right? Except voting and acquisition of agricultural land, which we again covered. Parity with Indian citizenship for domestic airfares, admit fees to national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, national monuments, and historical sites and museums. A quick example, if you go to Delhi and you visit some of the sites and monuments and like things like that, like for example, Lotus Temple, if you are having a non-Indian passport and you don't have any paperwork, you will be charged the foreign fee or whatever, like the tourists pay, and you will not get the citizen of India's fees to go into that monument. So with the OCI card, actually, you will be in parity with the Indian citizens and as you were before, and you can go for that historical site visit at the cheaper rate. So that is amazing. And the other thing is, number 5, parity with foreign nationals for any other field not mentioned in 3 and 4. So these 3 and 4 is super important. Outside of this, you will be considered as a foreign citizen. And last thing is, can visit India for the purpose of conducting research, obtaining an NOC from the Ministry of Home Affairs. And again, this is all the details provided by the Embassy of India and places like that. So this is not something that I came up with. And you get the necessary paperwork from the Indian diplomatic mission, and then you will be given the necessary paperwork to do your research, etc., and like so on and so forth. So I hope you guys loved this video on new rules of OCI that came in 2021, and this was again a crowd favorite. I listened to what you guys were asking for, and this was in a lot of comments and a lot of emails and like IMs directly sent to me to go over this topic. I hope you get benefits from this video. If you like it, definitely do share with your friends and family who need help in this. And again, upcoming videos are gonna be foreign spouse application for OCI, foreign born OCI for minor that has been born outside of India, and then the third video I'm gonna make on this topic would be how to update your information, which is based on the rule number 3 that we talked about here, directly on the online portal, and updating information for the OCI directly. So these are the upcoming items coming on this topic, but do follow my channel for weekly videos and updates, and I hope you could benefit from this. So thank you so much for watching. Take care and bye-bye.